Mm.
May echo ako.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
Morning.
everybody. Yes. Today is our season 2, episode 3 for the Weekend Habit
Woohoo.
hashtag Guru Chat. And we are actually joined today by Fons. Hi, Fons. There.
Hey
Sometimes I get a little
po.
Hey,
confused
Fons.
on on the account that you're using. But yes, if you guys would like to get more tips and would like to see some interviews as well with great educators, just follow my EdTech Life as well on like Twitter and on YouTube, right? It's the same. And you also have a page, I think. So yeah, good morning. Good morning, Fons, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And Guru Chat is actually two parts now. We have our fast chat, which is live, and we have our slow chat that happens from Mondays through Fridays weekly. That's just one question a day. So that's for those people who are not able to join the weekend habit every Saturday. So this happens every Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, Manila time, or 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I can't convert it to the other time zones anymore. But yes, today we are joined by my co-mod. So we're still missing one, but she's gonna be joining us soon. So we have Alfonso Manguan
Hi.
at the Teacher Forest, and we have Lisa Requiso at the Requisas on Twitter. So hello everybody, can you please introduce yourselves and let us know? Di ko pa na-introduce sarili ko. I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Mary Ann Manzano. I'm from Manila, Philippines. I'm a tech coach and the founder of gtech.guru and a co-founder of Arts.ph. There. Okay, go.
Hi. I'm Alfonso. I teach at T School Manila, where I'm the IBDP coordinator there, and I also teach history. On occasion, I help out Mary in her gtech.guru company as a tech coach and sometimes consultant.
Yes. That's right.
Good, mo-
Thank you so much, Fons. And how about Lisa?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa. I teach first grade in the International School of Dhaka. I was a teacher in the Philippines, also from Manila, but now I've been teaching overseas since 2014. So,
Woohoo.
good morning,
There.
everybody.
Hi. Hi, Mel. Thank you again for
Hi,
joining us this week.
Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Right? Mel, it's spam time again. All right.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me just go ahead and do that now. And for today, our topic is the ideal and the real. Okay. So, schools, teachers, and
Ooh.
students doing online distance learning. It's a little bit controversial, I think, because there are so many people that say something and plan something and then do something else.
Mhm.
And in this situation right now in COVID, we found that what we expected was totally different from what we got. So we're going to be discussing some of the things that we actually planned for and the things that really happened. So we've got Alfonso and Alfonso. Yes, two times the awesome sauce. That is what Fon said. That's
Yep.
right.
We Alphonsus make the
Yeah.
world a better place.
I think Alfonso, Fons would call you Tukayo, right? That's the word.
Tokayo.
Yes.
Yes.
Tokayo, yes. It's actually the same for Filipino, right? That's also the same
Yes.
word that we
Yes.
use, Tokayo,
Yeah.
when you have the same name. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Mel is happy because she has somebody else to spam the chat with today. I'd love to spam too. I do that too sometimes. So yeah, so just a few reminders, everybody. Just to let you know, we've got the following today, and we have our usual mods. However, guys, by next week, I really am inviting people to join us as well on the live stream, and most likely, Mel, if you have time next week, or Fons, if you have time to join us next week, that would be great for you to be with us next week. I'm gonna be giving the topic early. So these are our mods every week, di ba? And then we've got as well the rules. Just to remember that if you are um, if you are gonna participate in the Twitter chat, then please make sure to use the hashtag GuroChat For those people who are watching from abroad or from another country, guro means teacher. So guro is the Filipino word for teacher. So that's the hashtag that we're using for our weekend habit. So use the hashtag guro chat when replying in your tweets. And we are going to be using Q1A1 as our rules for, our format, okay, for today. All right. So, introduce yourself, your school and location, which we've already done, and share a GIF describing your week. Okay. We accept people who call it GIF and those who call it GIF as well. I'm from the GIF team. GIF like the peanut butter. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
But a lot of people that I know call it
Yes.
GIF because G for graphics,
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's yeah,
Okay.
that's a point of contention between me and my daughter. GIF and GIF.
Are you a GIF or a GIF
I'm a
fan?
GIF person.
Yeah. Oh, she's GIF. Okay.
Yeah, she's GIF
All right.
because she keeps on saying it's graphic. Exactly what you said. She's like, it's
Yeah,
GIF because it's
it's
graphic.
graphic.
Yeah, and I'm like, nope.
That's right.
The person who invented it said GIF, so I'll do GIF.
That is true. The person who actually invented it called it a GIF, and so
Yep.
I'm gonna go with whoever invented it. And I think we've got. I have a notification here, so it might be that Riza is already on our stream. Let's see. Oh, she's not yet there.
Mhm.
Oh, Mel is of the GIF team. GIF like good. The hard G team. Yes. So it's really funny. Like Mel is saying no. By the way, guys, for the people who are watching right now, we've got Mel from Colombia, but is really from
Dun, dun, dun,
Australia,
dun.
right? Dun, dun,
Australia.
dun. Yeah, really from Australia. There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna share my GIF in a while. Sorry, I'm really gonna say GIF. And fonts on the other hand is from uh you're from Texas, right? Fonts is from Texas. There. I can see that. There you go. Yeah. Okay, Australia. Nice. Okay, so share a GIF slash GIF describing your week. Well, we're on the live stream right now, so I'm gonna wait for what's happening on the Twitter chat to see what people have been sharing. But if you're gonna describe your week, how was it, guys?
Ooh, if I'm going to describe my week, um, it's pretty hectic. I had back-to-back meetings this whole week, and I find it odd that it's happening just before the Undas break. So I think it's a
Oh
sign of the world that
yeah,
yeah, it's a sign of the world. Hey, before you go on your Undas break, here are some meetings that you thought you couldn't get out of.
yeah. Undas is like Dia de Muerto. We have
Yeah,
also, okay, we've got Riza now. I can see her on the backstage, and I'm just gonna add her now to the stream. Hi, Riza. So
hi
Riza
Hello,
Riza.
is
everyone.
um, the
We
fourth
missed
part of
you.
our quartet.
I missed everyone.
Yay! Yes, I know because last week Alfonso and Riza were absent. I actually
Yep.
marked you guys
Yes.
absent. Yeah, it's the same with me actually. This week has been really hectic for me. I did a few more trainings this week and trainings with a lot of people on the webinar. We did a few collabs as well with some businesses for the week. And I think the one thing that I noticed this week was I had a difficult time calling G Suite Google Workspace. Like this
Ooh.
whole week, I've been training Google stuff, and every time I would catch myself saying G Suite, and then I have to say, "Oh, it's Google Workspace."
Oh
You know, it's
no. I've been sending
yeah,
out
it's
applications and it's all just G Suite. Oh,
I know I had to
now I have to
change a lot of
change Google
materials.
Workspace. Can't they just
Yes.
call it
Yeah, I
G
was surprised with
Space?
that, with the icon.
The icons too. I
They
had to change
updated
all the
it.
icons. I
Hmm.
had to
Yeah,
send
they
Yes.
updated
I
it.
had Yeah, they updated all the icons, the major icons at least. I had to send an order
Yes,
for my central boards because you all know, since I train sometimes older teachers, you will need to have visual aids. So I print out the icons, like the create icons, the share icons. I print it out and I flash it on the screen every time I need people to click on something. And so I had to send a new order for the new iconography. There, I can see that Mel said ours was cray cray and hybrid life, seeing kids bouncing face to face. That's true. That's hard. So you have both face to face and remote?
so
That
it's a
is
hybrid.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, hybrid is so
Yes.
hard. I can't
It's
imagine
very
it
hard.
actually. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
there was a
see.
plan actually for us to do hybrid like later
Us
this
as
school
well.
year, but it was
Yeah.
scrapped. A lot of
Yeah,
teachers said, "No, we're not going to go to school. We don't want to. We don't want to risk it. Plus, with the state of public transportation here, no."
Right.
that's true. I love
Yes.
Fonz's answer though. He said, "Great week this week. We trained substitute teachers,
Yay!
bigger office." Ooh,
Yay, bigger
nice.
office.
Bigger office for the win. That's good. But this week has been really great. I only focused on making sure that I look pretty at the whole, even though I felt like really overloaded. You know, you need to still look good at the end of the day. How about you guys, Lisa and Riza?
Risa's was hectic, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yours
was
was
so
How about you?
hectic.
hectic.
Last last 2 weeks I was like my grading my grading task it's above my head and I feel like I can't breathe anymore. I have to check
Oh no.
270 plus videos and
Oh
because I
no.
told them that I'm really gonna check, so I really have to check and give feedback even if it's like a one sentence of affirmation or um a sentence of two if there's a correction. So and I really tell them, you have to read my feedback. I've sent it there. And sometimes if they can't find the feedback, I would even send the link to their email just so they would know it's there. So
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
it was a learning curve, a very big learning curve for me and for my students because I had to send out around 120 reminders of for students to submit their tasks, their summative videos for me. So I think in one of your questions, I'm going to share there what happened and what I need to relearn and unlearn so that we could improve that part of submission, grading, would make something easier for the
Mhm.
teacher and the students, but will not suffer the content or the meat or the substantial part of the learning process.
I
Something like that.
agree. That's
Although
great.
this week, I started term two and I'm happy with the way they responded to the provocation I gave to them.
Okay,
We're
that's
learning
nice.
dance
There's
this
always
term,
a lot
so
of this
I'm
win.
happy. Yes,
Yeah,
you
that's the
always
important
in this
thinking.
situation, I think you always have to look what's good in this situation rather than dwelling on bakit kasi ganito, bakit kasi ganyan. So
Right.
I
Oh yeah,
if I caught
why
myself
why is it
asking like
happening this
that,
way?
yes.
Mhm.
If I
Yeah.
caught myself asking like that, I would always go back to okay, it's a different situation now. Stop
Mhm.
whining or getting into that thought. Move away.
Yep.
That's right. I like
So
that
that's it for
Mel
me.
said that we survived. She said that we will get
Yes.
there. That's
Mel A
crazy.
says
We
we
survived.
survived.
We survived. We are looking at
We
our first
survived
question right now
term
on
one.
Twitter. the first question that I have is, what was your biggest fear? What was your biggest fear before schooling started that actually came true?
Mhm. Oh,
Yay.
Oh, the
That
Google
came true.
when remember when Google shut down? Like we had a
Oh, and
synchronous
it was a
class and
downtime.
it shut down and
mhm.
you can't
Right.
connect and I can't connect to class. That's
Yeah.
my biggest fear that during class it would get cut off and the kids can access Google Classroom and we don't know how to communicate with them because we only have Google Hangouts and Google Classroom and we don't have any back channel aside from SeeSaw, but they're not really using SeeSaw the whole time. So that was
Ah,
my
so
biggest
I think
fear.
Mel has a clarification before I ever started school. This is before this school year, sorry. I think it would have to be before this school year. Let me clarify that. So what was your biggest fear before this school year started that came true? So not necessarily before you started teaching, but before the school year started. Due to COVID, because there was already COVID before the school year and people have been trying to adjust, like do some plans to make sure that everything goes well. But what was your biggest fear? I think it's the same with you,
Mhm.
Riza. Due to the fact that we are in the Philippines, my biggest fear has always been if my internet fails. It's
Yes.
and it keeps coming true. It keeps
Mhm.
coming true,
Yeah.
and I've learned to adjust. I begin my trainings with two words: patience and refresh. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually have that slide. Like, remember to be patient. If I suddenly disappear, just be patient. I'll come back. And if the page fails to load, just refresh. So patience and refresh are my two words because of the internet access.
Mhm.
Okay, Mel said her biggest fear was teachers and students not connecting properly, and that we would not have asynchronous classes, 100% synchronous. That's true. Meeting fatigue is so real.
Yep.
Yep.
It's so real. How about you guys? How about you, Alfonso and Lisa? What are your biggest
Well,
fears?
it's always been privacy when you talk about online classes. There is that really big argument about cameras on, cameras off, and the like. So that's something that we had to really consider, and so we needed to put like barriers to make sure that there's no unauthorized access of our Zoom rooms. We've had some
Mm,
instances, and we needed to like examine different ways to make sure that our students are protected. Oh, and another issue was about those students who just cut classes. We've had a couple already. We're actually not couple. We've had a lot of students cut classes over the past few months, and we don't know how to like address that given that
Right.
we're all
The
online.
situation is different, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
How about you, Lisa?
Mine is similar to what Mel said.
Hmm.
Because it's my first time to teach a lower grade level. Um, Having internet problems and not being able to connect personally with the students. So um, I think the first few weeks it was really a struggle for me because I don't know the children. I There are some times where you are misunderstood or
Hmm.
misinterpreted with how you say things, and
mm,
so that has
Yes.
come true for me. So like the internet as well in the Philippines, because at that time I was in the Philippines and there were like five of us using the internet with my parents' super basic internet plan. So I couldn't upgrade it because we were just staying for a week
Yeah.
to
mm,
use the internet. So yeah, it was quite a struggle during the first week, but it took
yeah.
me that took me a while to get out
Mm,
of, and find ways to reconnect with my students,
Yeah.
find better ways to get to know them. So yeah, it's what now we are on our seventh week, and it's
Mhm.
only now I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with
Mhm.
um, with my grade level. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. That's good. So I've got my second question up now, and my question number two is, what is an unexpected gift, boon, or good thing that happened during online learning that it has to be unexpected, something that you didn't expect when you started schooling.
Ooh.
For me, it
Um,
was connecting with the teachers.
mhm,
Mm,
Like like you guys, I wouldn't be able to connect with you if it weren't for the pandemic. Seriously. Like
mhm,
that's true.
I wouldn't I wouldn't have you as
Yes.
one of like my core friends that I have online that I know will support me and understand where I'm coming from. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess like with my coach, with my colleagues in the school, because we created some chat groups, it was
Mm-hmm.
easier for us to ask questions and to like complain to
Mm-hmm.
complain or clarify anything that came out of the meeting. So it
Mm-hmm.
actually connected us more, and we were able to share our resources more.
mhm,
That surprised
Nice.
me. Yeah.
I actually was surprised at how much people were willing to learn when they didn't have a choice. you know, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not been easy
mhm,
getting some teachers and some schools to migrate to a better system, or at least a more collaborative one. And kind of preaching 21st century learning to people who say it but don't apply it is hard, because they say, or we applying it, but they don't want to really apply uh, what is the best practice globally. And and it's been difficult for me. But during COVID, the unexpected like surprise was that yes, you can learn it. You can learn, and now that you don't have a choice, you can actually do online learning. People who refused to meet me before using Hangouts are, of course, more than willing to do it and do a video conference now. And they're even suggesting different tools for us to meet. And that for me was the best thing, because I think that's going to stay. It that is
Right.
going to stay. That attitude of learning something new is going to stay even after COVID. There. Uh, what is this? We have Fawn saying teachers really did a great job adjusting to remote learning. That's true. I can see
Agree.
here there's so many comments, so I have to choose. Okay, Mel, I have to choose. But Nearpod was epic. Just seeing students engage who were not really engaging, and I think for Alfonso, it's a pair deck for you, right? Because for me,
yep,
Nearpod and pair deck are so similar
similar.
as tools. So some people are Nearpod people, some are pair deck. So it's really up
Yes.
to you on the camp that you choose, right? What else is here? Mel said, meeting my EdTech life and the rest of the global GEG. Yes, definitely. I love Stephanie Rothstein's project in her SEA 19 Innovation Academy. And this is her project, the Global GEG. And along with Stephanie Howell and the rest of the really great guys there, Abid Patel, you guys, Alfonso, Pilar, so many really great people in Global GEG. So, guys, if you are watching right now and you'd like to be a member of a global Google Educator community, then yeah, check out Global GEG there. Okay, so how about you guys?
Global
Dami ko na
GEG.
sinabi. All right. I have to reply to this too. Thank you, Riza, for helping me co-mod in Twitter. because I get it's so difficult to do live streaming and doing Twitter moderation as well. You need to multitask there. So Riza, what's your unexpected gift or boon or good thing that happened? I think Riza froze a little bit. How about you, Alfonso?
Well, um, good thing that happened. I would really say that coaching the teachers at the start of the school year, that was the good thing that happened because, as you know, or I mean the school, they really did, like, invest so much into thinking about how to use technology, and then suddenly they're now required. So I was happy that there were some teachers who reached out and who acknowledged, like, the expertise or the experience I bring. So I was thankful for that opportunity also.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So Mel said, "Oh, Riza, you teach PE. That must be challenging if you are virtual." To be honest, Mel, one of the things that I really admired about Riza is when I met her 3 years ago. Oh my goodness, Riza, we've known each other for 3 years now. When I met Riza 3 years ago, and I found out that she was an edtech enthusiast. You know, she's an edtech enthusiast, and then I found out she's teaching PE. So I was like, how do you do ed tech in physical education face to face? How do you do it? And she managed to do it and also shared a lot of her best practices with us and with her PLN. And yeah, so that's why I'm so glad for her to be part of our Gura chat. Yeah. Mel said, I think both are epic. You know, just PE is epic for me. I told you obesity doesn't run in my family. Nobody runs in my family. There. Okay, so I like that Riza said my phys ed team has become more open and supportive of each other. We share ideas more often now than we were face to face. That's right. And I've got my Q3 already up. It feels like time is so fast today. I'm trying to catch up with my questions. Okay, this is for you too. If you would go back in time to planning, what would you do differently?
Oh my! I have a very funny story because at the start of the school year, I thought, now there's still in so much time. Oh, it's just May. I can still plan it. Oh, it's June already. There's still so much time. And then classes would start July. Classes was going to start July 20th. It's like, oh, it's just July 1. I'll still have time. I have the notes there. So I guess if I were to go back in time, I would take those 2 months, extra months, really seriously, so that I
Mhm.
could really plan out my lessons. Because once July 20 hit, oh my, I was like scrambling for, okay, what will I teach? How am I going to teach this? What learning engagements should I use? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And you, Lisa, is it the same for you?
I think for me, it's really zeroing in on what the children should learn.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
I think it's just finding that out. And I think in my head I should have that in my head more, like that key question of what do I need
Mhm.
them to learn
Yeah.
from this lesson objective, or do I really need it
Mhm.
and can I skip it and move on to just a little. I think a little, like what Laffy said, like a little bit more of a planning ahead kind of, you
Hmm.
know,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then just, and then of course making it shorter.
Yep.
Making it shorter because the children can't, like, it's they just turn off when it's too
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
So I
Hmm.
think it's just finding that sweet spot of planning. How
Mhm.
Yep.
long
Yeah.
and what? Yeah.
I do like that there is something here Mel said that she would kind of change the way that we plan. That's true.
Yeah, that's
The
exactly
way that
right.
we plan is so traditional, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we try to plan everything, But you know what they say about best laid plans, and they don't normally come true. So, but for those people, for me, I think what I would change with the way I plan is at first, I tried to plan the way that I would plan my face to face. Like I knew in my heart that it was different, that it was going to be different, but I just didn't have any idea how different it was really gonna be.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
um, so I felt like okay, I'm prepared. I have all my materials, and then when it finally happened that I'm teaching online, I find that there's just way too many factors that I didn't plan for. And every single time I have a session, I always have to go back to my drawing board and check, okay, what happened, what worked and what didn't work. I always had to kind of adjust. So even now, after how many months of doing this,
Yep.
I'm feeling like I'm still in the adjustment stage. I don't know if you feel the
Yeah.
same way, but yeah, you
Yes.
still kind of
It's a continuous struggle, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
yeah
Absolutely.
yeah. Riza said I would limit my activities into the most essential content. I think Riza's access right now is a little bit intermittent, but
Yeah.
she's very active on the Twitter chat. So she said I would limit my activities into the most essential content as I gave a lot of activities which overwhelmed me and my students. That is true. And I think really in this online learning stage, you can see a lot of students become overloaded because the teacher would give them one task, but the
Mhm.
students are getting 10 tasks from all of their subjects and with varying deadlines and sometimes really strict deadlines. And you can see a lot of students become a lot overloaded now. So, yeah, I think as a teacher, we need to be a little bit more mindful of that to, reduce the work that needs to be assigned. But yeah, we had so much content we needed to get through as well. That is true. So we got behind. Have to really prioritize. That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, until now, I think people are still trying to figure that out. But
Mhm.
if anybody has a secret sauce that they would like to share, please go
An
ahead and
awesome
share
sauce.
with us. Awesome sauce that you'd like to share. I like when Mel said she seriously got into edtech like in July. That's true. Yeah, so many people
I
have been
think it's.
ignoring that there are tools.
I
Yeah.
think it's no. It's not just her. Many of them are like that. Wherein,
Mm-mm,
oh, I
mm-mm.
need to learn how to create a video. Oh, I need to, So it's not
Mhm.
just her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like I really like though that people have been getting into edtech, but also just be, I guess, choosy about the
Yeah.
tools that you're going to be using, because just because everybody's using it doesn't mean that it's the best. It may just be
Mhm.
Right.
popular. It may not be the best fit for your subject or for your. Just think about your learning objective first. So that's my take on that. Like for example, so many people have Pear Deck and Nearpod, but it's not necessarily something that I can apply to me as
Yes.
as an edtech coach. I like other tools more than that. And again, choose the tools that would really fit your learning objective. Very important. Don't remove your eye from your pedagogy, guys.
Yep.
And there. So I've got my question four up here. What is a major thing that you had to adjust, trash, revamp, or overhaul when school started?
Ooh. Assessment. Assessments are,
Assessment.
yeah, assessment. Well, of course, with our IB program in the diploma program, we can't trash assessment, so couldn't really do away with that. But in the younger years, or at least from kinder to grade 10, there
Mm-hmm.
is that understanding that there will be no assessments or no major written unit tests, summative tests. A lot of the work or a lot of the assessments will be performance or portfolio based. so that
Yeah.
students don't really get pressured into having to sit for exams. I miss that part because I, for one, I'm not also a fan of written tests. There are just a lot of issues, both personal, private, and academic integrity that need to be considered. But yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like something here. I think this might have been an answer to A3. I'm almost the same here. I think I tried to integrate too many things and lost sight
Uh,
of the big picture.
Mhm.
That's an answer that we got on Twitter. So Mel is also commenting here on YouTube, saying that hold on, that Mel is surprised that you teach in DP too.
Yes.
There.
Hi. Yeah. So we I've had a weird career path.
Yeah. So Mel said with MIP, we do a lot of projects and things, but they take forever to grade.
Uh huh.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Everything in the IB is takes forever to grade, right, Lisa?
Yeah, that's true.
So I have a big thing here. Mel said we did not assign much work, to be honest, but 75-minute classes were a huge change from the
Mhm.
50-minute classes we had before, especially on the kids. So I
Yeah.
thought I could do more cool things. Oh, what cool things did you do? I'm actually kind of
I
interested
bet.
in the cool stuff that people are doing and the more engaging things that make people stand up and move, that make people not really be sitting down and still do stuff and still learn while doing it. I'm interested in that. So, guys, if you have any comments or any suggestions for me, uh, please go ahead. We've got something here from Fawn saying we will be doing a mock state writing assessment. We are still trying to teach to state testing standards. It'll be interesting to see this through Google Meet sessions. Yeah, there is that whole thing, right, about standards and about um, what do you really want your kids to learn versus passing a test. You know, I really like the point that you made there, Alfonso, about assessments
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, I don't think I think you're not alone, Fons. That
Yeah.
you're not not happy about that. You know, trying to balance standards versus actual learning, right there. How about you, Lisa? What's another thing that you'd like to kind of, or what is something that you actually had to overhaul?
I think Laffy was right with assessments. So now
Mm-hmm.
there always has, I mean, ever since the PYP has been reviewed in
Mm-hmm.
2018, they are now putting more emphasis on the formative assessments because it
Yeah.
used to be that we look at the summative and make that as a big celebration and focus all our attention on that. But
Yeah.
during the revision, um, uh, the PYP had suggested or is encouraging us to focus more on the formative and looking at
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
how the kids develop and look at the process more. And so I
Yep.
think now was the best time to do that shift because now every discussion that you have online is very important because you
Mm-hmm.
look at that because that is your only time to get the evidence of does this child still have misconceptions? Does this child understand what we're trying to say? So a better understanding of the unit, that those are the only ways that you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So during the live sessions or the sync lessons, then I think for me that shift in and mindset, like now I'm looking at everything that we do online and try to figure out where is this child. So when it comes to understanding, so like that was for me a big adjustment, a big shift in thinking and learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. I do think that I have one more here. I have another thing here from Riza. She said that she can't go back to the stream, but I'll
Yeah, I
support
know.
over Twitter and here. That's okay, Riza. Thank you so much for still being here. And she said the number of activities that my students will be doing had to be revamped to lessen
Mm-hmm.
burnout both for them and myself. So that's a really good thing there. Um, Make sure that you ask yourself first, is it really needed before you assign it? Is it really needed? How needed is it really for you to assign that? Because that's another thing that they have to do. There, Mel said, I wish they would have some lenience, especially during this time, because the US, yes, it does seem like it's all about standards and tests. Actually, even here, we are almost patterned with U.S. education. Do you agree, Alfonso? I mean, you are in a progressive school, so probably
Mm-hmm.
not. But for
Yeah.
most of our school system here, the public schools and the other private schools, the school system is patterned from the U.S.
Yeah.
system, where everybody has to pass tests, and yeah, it's
Plus,
not as flexible.
yeah, yeah, there's still that that argument that students should be tested, content is king, we should make use of textbooks, and
Mhm.
basically your academic scores are a determinant to your admission at the university. I mean,
That's right.
I'm working with the senior high school students, and a lot of the local universities, if it weren't for COVID, they would still be looking at grades more than the
Yeah,
extracurriculars and all of the other projects.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
really hope that this COVID does change the way they approach um, admissions, because really
Mhm.
we want our students to focus less on the grades and more on like what can you contribute to the community, because I know for a fact that universities know that a lot of students are already smart, but how can we differentiate you from one another, you know?
That's right. That's right. I like that Mel also said implementing breaks within the 75
Hmm.
minute lesson. I'm actually quite strict with my breaks. I protect my breaks. And every time I begin my classes, I always say, and of course, for our agenda today, the most important parts of the agenda are the breaks. So I actually give them, here are the breaks. And I'm very strict with my breaks.
Mm.
And I tell them like to be strict with it as well, because it's important that people stand up from their computers, people step
Hmm.
away from it, grab a glass of water, stretch a little bit. You cannot be sitting down and sitting in front of the screen all the time. It really helps though, because when they come back right after the break, I'm also strict with the way I maintain the breaks. If I say it's a 15-minute break, if it's a bio break, it's really short, so
Hmm.
you just have to have that timer right there on the screen, and just make sure that they all come back right after the break. And that's really one of my rules. So when they come back, they're a lot more energized. I like that.
right.
I've got my Q5 though. My Q5 is, it's still far off, but what are the new activities you'll be adding to your curriculum next year that
Oh.
is caused by this experience? This is my Q5.
It's the same with you, Mary. Like the movement, if we are going to go back face to face, time
Mm-mm.
the lessons we're in. Okay, so now it's been 10, 20 minutes. I'll stop it and
Mhm.
then have a movement break or go to the
Mhm.
washroom break. So
Hmm.
I'll be
Yeah.
more mindful of that as, as when, if and when we go back face to face. That is
Yeah.
something that I'm, or, like
Hmm.
the mindfulness breaks that you have, like meditation. And
Mhm.
Hmm.
so now we do that practice in school. So it's now actually thinking about how do I put this in my daily practice. So
Hmm.
like what you
Yeah.
and Mel said, yeah.
Hmm.
I really like that. I have to just give a shout out to Sandra Chow at What Nunu. And she did a mindfulness break during the Southeast Asian Innovation Academy last year. I really enjoyed it. And it was a very good break. Just remind yourself to breathe. Because more
Hmm.
Yeah.
often than not, you forget that like your shoulders are already being raised higher, and that's
Yeah.
actually a sign of stress. So you just have to remind yourself, okay, I have to put my shoulders down and I have to breathe. I
Yeah.
liked her mindfulness break. I'm gonna have to ask her if she has that whole presentation. I really would like to uh, to have that. It's a very short thing, but it makes so much difference. I like that. I'm gonna put that in my notes. Mindfulness break.
Yes.
There. How about you?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love for the schools to. It goes back to that previous question or that response Lisa gave, which is what are the essentials, and let's just
Mhm.
focus on the essentials. So I hope that's something that schools can do. Like, do we honestly need to have 50 to an hour and a half long classes, or can we do something that's sprint like let's discuss the really big ideas. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but um having to condense a 40 year class into 45 minutes and really just focusing on the discussion and examining the concepts, and that would be a really amazing thing. But other than that, I would think that the mindfulness activities are really helpful for students and teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also important that from time to time we also like unplug. There should be a really a day devoted just for well-being, removing yourself from the academic setting and just letting kids enjoy, socialize, have fun, work on different
Mhm.
group activities, and even join clubs. That's for me.
Yeah, actually, that's true because one of the things that I really learned for this pandemic is that I thought that every time I had to have a meeting, I have to go to
Mm-hmm.
my office corner, which is this corner. So every time somebody says, "Mary, can you just go ahead and meet with me?" I uh, I just go to this corner because this is the corner that doesn't get messy. Like my whole house
Mm-hmm.
can get messy, but this corner will always be kept pristine. Just so it's easy for me
Right.
to go meet in a meeting. But
Yeah.
one of the things that Chris Betcher actually taught me, and Swan Yao, is that you can have walking meetings. You can have
Mm-hmm.
walking
Mm.
meetings. So I started looking at maybe for some of my meetings, I will schedule them as walking meetings. I would tell them, hey, um, for this hour, I will meet with you, but I'll be walking. So if you like, you can also go and walk with me. We don't have to do a face to face video meeting. We can do a just a voice call. And for that voice call, I'll just put my headset on and I'll be walking. And I could get my exercise in as well. Because that is something that I need to make sure of getting some more exercise. But on the new activities, I guess so many new engagement games, that I started doing this pandemic. I'm just not sure how I'm going to implement it next time. But the primary thing is that online learning can work. That is
Mm-hmm.
my thinking. Online learning can work. You can learn from it. And so I'm going to have to make sure that next year, for some of my coaching activities and training activities, some of them would have to be online, even though we're already allowed to do face to face. I'm still going to insist that some of them be online. The traffic in Manila, everybody, if you don't know, the traffic in Manila is horrible.
Yes,
It's
it
one of the
is.
most horrible in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Mel said still do check-ins. I was always terrible at SEL, making proper connections with students, but I've been way better than in the virtual world. Yeah.
Yes,
Lisa,
agree, Mel.
the connections. Right. By the way, Lisa, thank you for answering this. When you said zeroing in on what should be taught and only focusing on what was essential, still learning how
Yeah.
to do this. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, use more movements and mindfulness breaks. Okay, so I have a question for you guys, an app recommendation that you might want to give. What is an app that you use to ease the difficult transition to online learning? What's an app that you that really helped you?
Oh my. I haven't actually thought of that in quite some time.
Or something new that you, or maybe an old app that you felt, oh wow, this time this app really works now.
Lisa, take it away.
No, because I teach primary.
Mhm.
So I am a SeeSaw ambassador. Let me just put that out. That's a disclaimer. But
Yahoo.
definitely, SeeSaw has helped us with the transition to online learning because many of the
Mhm,
students already know how to use it. And then it's a
mhm,
matter of getting our parents,
mhm,
ensuring that they are all connected and that we are all um, we are all on the same page when it comes to using Seesaw.
mhm,
Especially now with the updates, it's easier now to upload videos and
mhm,
you like really um, be more be clearer with our instructions because now what I would do is I would screen record and actually upload that on Seesaw. These are your instructions. Please watch Miss Lisa's videos. So now I am able to transfer my pedagogy on Seesaw.
onto
So that
seesaw.
is yeah. So that is like I'm still always trying to figure out if I was the student, what would be the best way for me to use Seesaw and like how will I know what to do? That's always been a problem with online learning when the teacher is not there. How do you
Mhm,
do sync lessons? So
mhm, mhm.
sometimes they wouldn't know what to do. So I'm trying to figure out like how can I hold their hand virtually more.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So for me, seesaw definitely.
All right.
I think for me
Okay.
it's two applications. One is WeVideo. I wasn't really very good
Hmm.
at video editing when this whole thing
Me
started.
too.
I had to learn how to do video editing because,
Yes, me too.
and I'm using a Chromebook, guys, so that means I can't use like Premiere Pro unless I have a virtual server to run it on. But I started using WeVideo. I started using it a long, long, long time ago, but I was not really very good at the mechanics of video editing. So I really had to learn it. I took a course, and I started to learn how to, you know, stitch small videos together and stuff like that, and learning the tricks and the tips of some YouTubers as well on how they're making their videos, how to make it more authentic. That is really the thing for me, how to put humor into it as well, because
Mhm.
that's harder than I thought it was gonna be. Putting some humor into your videos. And the other thing that really helped me for this online learning thing is Mode. I love Mode because before I
Yeah.
just used to do
Audio.
comments, like just typewritten comments and stuff, but Mode is voice feedback. I used to use
Oh.
Yes.
talk and comment as an extension. Talk and comment is also good, but I think Mode is better.
Yeah.
So
Seesaw has that as well.
Mhm.
Like a
the voice.
video, like no, not video, voice. Yes, and it for younger students, it makes it more personalized because they hear
Yes.
your voice and they know like when you say it it's like oh that was such wonderful unlike
Mhm.
when you read it oh that's such wonderful like you can't transfer the emotion
Yeah, the
when you read
tone.
it. Yeah,
That's
so
true.
it's a lot more personal when you do voice recording. So teachers, whatever you use, do voice recording please when you give feedback because it just makes like a whole world of difference for the
Yeah.
students.
Yep.
I've always really liked voice feedback and also voice typing. Do you know, like in even my presentations, before I do my presentations, what I do is here in Google Slides, you have the voice typing feature or the tool where you can voice type your speaker notes in Google Slides. So when I'm
Oh
doing my
yeah.
rehearsal, instead of just rehearsing the slides and like just going through the slides one by one, I rehearse it and voice type it. So I just click on the speaker notes. I start to talk. Like, this is my slide, blah, 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 blah. And then the next one, blah, 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 blah. And whatever it is that I say, gets typed on the speaker notes, and it becomes my speaker notes right after. So when I go live on my slides, I already have the speaker notes that I said during the rehearsal. So
Right.
it's a
So smart.
one time
It's
thing.
so smart.
I don't like to type.
No,
I
but
don't
it's
like to
like
type.
super smart that we have many students who can't type. So I think,
Yeah.
like what is a way for them to practice presenting? And
Hmm.
that is a fantastic way to do that.
Yeah. I do that in my Google Docs also because I used to have like meetings. I used to have meetings outside, and normally when I have meetings with school leaders, and on the way back, I don't like doing notes during a
Mhm.
meeting. So I love to listen and remember, but I do forget sometimes. So for me to not forget, I take my Google Docs app on my phone and I go voice typing inside the Uber or the Grab, and I start talking. I just tell the driver, "Don't mind me, kuya. I'm just gonna talk to myself." So I'll just start doing my minutes of the meeting on my phone, dictate it. When I get to the office, I just fix my minutes and send it out. That's my. I love voice typing. I hate typing. I really don't like it because I'm not a very good typer. Shout out to some of my favorite friends there who type with just two fingers. There.
I love writing.
Okay,
I
so
love writing on my notebook. I think I love I love listening and then writing on my notebook.
yes,
Um,
you're
Me,
a
I love
rocket book
pens.
man. You're a
yeah.
rocket
Me,
book
I love
man.
pens.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love pens. I know
Yes,
that
pens.
I do
most of those
too.
notes are I won't be reading them like for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but at least I know that it's specifically on this page or in
Yeah.
this notebook. I
Yes.
can't
Yes.
do digital notes because
Yeah.
I don't have not tactical tactile memory of where it
Right.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Alfonso, that for you the app that you can that you might,
Mhm.
and you have already said this before, is Rocketbook. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Rocketbook app.
Hmm.
Yeah, for those people who are still writing, and if you have all of these stuff that you would like to just write, for example, the formulas, your math. Yes, yes. So you've got your Rocket book, and you
I've not
can,
used it so much, but I'm keeping it
I'm
until I
envious.
get another one, hopefully.
yes, yes. So Rocketbook app, guys, you can actually download some templates on their website, and you can use those templates even if you don't have a physical Rocketbook. You can still use the templates on the site and just download the app so that you can scan it, and it's very easy to scan your notes in whatever template you choose. All right. So I
Yep.
just would like to. Mel is asking, what do you teach?
Ooh, what do I teach? I teach history.
Yeah.
And just to plug in, Mel, I am currently trawling the whole IB website for schools I'd like to work in the future.
Yes, that's true.
Mhm.
So, Mel, if you think of a history teacher that you would like to be part of your team, Alfonso is gonna be free in in a couple of years. I
Or
just
in
would like
months.
in one. You never know.
Yep.
So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for this week. I'm just putting Albert Hubbard's quote in here: "Best preparation for good work tomorrow is to do good work today." We just have to do the best that we can today to make sure that tomorrow we don't have any, well, not a lot of regrets, right? And I would like to invite people to again join our slow chat. Slow chat is
Yes.
one question per week, and I'm putting it out here, right? So our slow chat for the week is one question per day, Mondays through Fridays. We just ended our slow chat, the very first slow chat edition that we had last week on mentoring teachers, and I'm already writing the blog post now. That's what I like about slow chat, is that there's, I think, a lot more that you can say in the 1 week period than in a fast chat, live chat like today. Although I'm still learning a lot more things.
Mhm.
So if you want to go back to our slow chat from last week. It's about mentoring teachers, and if you're a mentor or a coach, then check out our questions there, and please tell us your thoughts. That would be great. And I'm writing the blog post every week for that now, just so I could have kind of a wakelet type, summary of what happened.
Nice.
Next week, we have school transformation. That is our topic for next week. So I'm inviting you to tag maybe school leaders, school administrators, people that are part of planning the transformation of your school, or even your TOSAs, right? EdTech coaches, please join because you're all needed in order to transform a school. So that's going to be our topic for next week. There. Thank you so much again for joining us. And we'll see you again next week, everybody.
Happy
Goodbye.
weekend.
Bye.
Happy weekend. Thanks
And
again, everyone.